I've kept my commitment to appoint the first black woman to the Supreme Court of the United States of America. I also kept my commitment to have an administration that looks like America and be a president for all Americans. That's what I've done. You make that choice. Remember the words of Benjamin Franklin hanging on my wall here in the Oval Office, alongside the busts of Dr. King and Rosa Parks and Cesar Chavez. When Ben Franklin was asked, as he emerged from the convention going on, whether the founders have given America a monarchy or republic, Franklin's response was, a republic, if you can keep it. A republic, if you can keep it.
So after Joe Biden addressed the nation last night, people started questioning, is this even the real Joe Biden? People started questioning, is this a body double? Is this AI? What is this? And listen, I try not to feed too much into the conspiracies, but I will never fault anyone for questioning Joe Biden. Not because I hate the guy, but because he looks different almost every time we see him. Over the last 4 or 5 years, we've seen like 5 different versions of Biden. And either there's multiple Bidens, or this dude is like getting makeovers and completely changing his look, changing his hairline, changing his ears. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. But, you know, as someone that does YouTube, I get that cameras and camera angles and lighting and all of that stuff makes you look different. But sometimes Joe Biden just looks a little too different. In fact, after he gave the speech, he walks outside. There's a little video clip of this. And people are pointing out that he looks taller than normal. I'm going to roll this clip, and I want you to let me know. Does he look different to you? Does he look taller? Let me know in the comments below, and let's watch this clip. Okay, taller or not, real Joe Biden or not, just look at how everyone reacts to Joe Biden around him. It's like people are clapping him on like a toddler that just learned, that just got potty trained. You just used your little kiddie toilet for the first time and everyone's just clapping and smiling. No one's clapping and smiling because he did a great job. No one's clapping and smiling because they admire him. It's almost like a pity clap and smile. It's really sad to see, honestly. It's embarrassing that the President of the United States is in this position where everyone's treating him like a little kid on his birthday or something. I don't know. There's something so unsettling about it because everyone that's sitting around there clapping, they're all putting on a show. They've all put on a show for years that Biden was okay, but you can tell by how they interact with him. You can tell by how they act that he's not okay and that they view him as like a vegetable. They look down upon him. They don't admire him. They're not looking up to the president. They're looking down on the president. And they clap and they smile. But it's just so weird, forced. And like I said, it feels like they're cheering on a kid that got through something that they didn't think he would get through. But now that Joe Biden has been forced out, not stepped down, now that he has been forced out, during the speech, he's just saying whatever. As he was addressing the nation last night, the dude is just saying whatever, like just because you got forced out, just because you're not running for re-election, doesn't mean that you change history. It doesn't mean that you could sit here and lie to our face about everything that happened for the last 3 or 4 years. But that's what this guy is doing. He's literally using this as an excuse to look back on his presidency and pretend like things went differently than what they did. What he actually said about wars last night, it really irked my nerves. Let's listen.
I will keep working to ensure America remains strong and secure and the leader of the free world. I'm the first president in this century to report to the American people that the United States is not at war anywhere in the world. We'll keep rallying a coalition of proud nations to stop Putin from taking over Ukraine and doing more damage. We'll keep NATO stronger, and I'll make it more powerful and more united than any time in all of our history. I'll keep doing the same for our allies in the Pacific.
You know, for someone that supposedly hates Trump, he sure does try to take credit for Trump's accomplishments. Listen, under Trump, there wasn't all of these big wars raging all across the world. Sure, we maybe had some troops stationed here or there in the Middle East, but we didn't have these massive conflicts that are going on right now. To say that America hasn't been involved in war or hasn't been at war since Joe Biden has been president, that's a complete lie. Look at what's happening with Ukraine and Russia. And I know what you think, well, American troops aren't on the ground over there, folks. Once you send as much money as we have sent to Ukraine, you are now at war. We have sent more money to Ukraine than we usually spend on wars ourselves when we're actually on the ground involved. Folks, we are at war with Russia. It's not directly yet. Maybe our troops aren't on the ground in Russia yet, but we are at war with Russia. For him to pretend like that's not going on, it's absolutely insane. And then you got what's going on over there with Israel. You got two major military conflicts, two conflicts that could spill over into World War III. You know, I mean, the Russia-Ukraine stuff, that's obvious, but people look at what's going on in Israel and they think that it's some type of, you know, like a small war or something like that, but, you know, it's like a small disagreement. No, it involves the entirety of the Middle East. Sure, you know, it's Israel and Hamas right now, but Iran is involved. Other countries are involved. And, you know, it always had the potential to spill over into more military conflicts. And speaking of that, talking about not directly being involved in wars, I mean, let's not pretend like we're not fighting the Houthis in Yemen right now. We have Americans on ships in the middle of the ocean fighting the Houthis in Yemen. We're doing airstrikes in Iran. To say that we're not involved in any wars is just a complete bogus lie. And it's something that was actually true of Donald Trump in his 4 years in office. But they're going to keep lying, and we'll keep talking about it. We'll keep exposing it. And like I said, you know, we don't even know if this is the real Joe Biden talking. But in all seriousness, let me know your thoughts about this down below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell. And if you find yourself getting too worked up about all of this, remember, it's just political cinema.